Battle control initialized.
Hello there, comrades and cannon fodder. It's Dvoid here. I've got a 1v1 multiplayer game on Eden Lake map for you. I'm using Russia and my opponent's using England for this game. We're on the initial oil capture phase and I'm sending an engineer and I send him straight to capture the hospital. Because by the time I've got him on shift command, because capture the hospital, the oil derrick, and then this oil derrick, and move over to here. But by the time he's captured the hospital, I've secured the central oil derrick with rifles, so it's just a case of timing, the reason why I do it that way. And my opponent is only built a few rifles and an engineer, so I'm guessing, yeah, he's going War Factory first build. Now, the second 2 refinery build allows you to place a second refinery here, look. And your opponent on War Factory first build is still on a War Factory now with a scout vehicle and then an ore truck. You're talking a while before you can start earning extra cash. Now you build it. Now they'll be building a second refinery. So I just prefer the 2 ref build, but you need to make use of what assets you get by using the 2 ref build. Otherwise, you know, there's no point in having them. You may as well go for a more efficient build that just all of a sudden earns you a lot of cash when you get to a certain point. You can defend your base against small attack forces early on. But I brought my APC and engineer. I'm going for the enemy oil derrick, and I've got 2 at the moment to the enemy's 1. Yeah, I can't see what's going on. But here we go, this is the enemy's viewpoint. And there's my APC. I caught the engineer out, luckily, but this is what the enemy can see. They know my engineer is now capturing their oil derrick, but they don't know that I've got this here, waiting to intercept any units that want to snipe my engineer. Now, a good player will send a ranger or an APC around the side this way to attack you, but just get the capture done as quickly as you can to take away their view range advantage, and then you've got a chance. But I like to position my units outside of the view range of the enemy oil derrick, just so they don't know where your defensive assets are. And my opponent's got his MCV, his second one, he's escorting it well enough. Rifles, light tank, a couple of rockets and that. Let's have a look at the early army values. 7,000 to me, 3,000 to my opponent. Then I'm just moving my MCV out now. I think, yeah, with 2 refineries, and then you set up the service depot, it's a quicker expansion. You can expand and build an MCV quite early if you just build 2 refs. Even if you build them first, you still send it out early. Because instead of building a 3rd refinery, you just build your service depot and then change the number of ore trucks you build, and that means that when you've built the right amount, you're then ready to place a service depot and build an MCV, so you're not wasting time in that. But my opponent's capturing this, recapturing it. He's retaking it from me. So, and I've seen him with my APC because that belongs to me. You see the view range just disappear. Now I can't see him. So this is my viewpoint. Luckily, I saw him and ran him over. But the enemy light tank just finished my APC off, so it was a trade and he captured the oil derrick. I couldn't reach it in time, but I'm at 13,000 army value, my opponent's at 6. I'm at 14 to 7 now. He's churning out medium tanks, light tanks, and he's got artillery. He needs to get those assets into combat. You need to get your assets used, whatever. It's early tech, and he's got a second war factory. So if he's investing in that early, the radar dome, he needs to use it very early. Probably, if I did that, I'd probably try and set up a force that was screened in some sort of standoff position. Capture an oil derrick, get some units like that, and then some artillery behind them to shell his expansion or something. You know, try and let the enemy attack you that way. But neither of us can see the enemy force, look. I've got these guys here, and my opponent's got these guys, but I think he's waiting for these assets to catch up before he actually engages. So I should have moved sooner. I've got a couple of tanks with me, but yeah, there you go, his 2 artillery pieces reached the front line. 20,000 to 13,000 in army value, and the artillery are going to work nicely, look. They do a lot of damage. There, my troops are walking into the shots. You see the artillery are actually firing at the tanks, which is going to waste your shots. You have to target the infantry. No, it's still an attack move when he did that. So you need to use control fire. Tell them to target infantry and then fire where they're going to be. And I'm trying to follow his MCV that's retreating, but it's basically he's preparing an ambush. That artillery piece can shred those troops. He just needs enough to hold me. In the meantime, medic, it didn't even do out. What's going on? It's on move command. It can't heal if it's on move command. It needs to be on attack move, and it'll heal the first guy it comes up to. But I've placed a base defence and I'm falling back myself. I don't want to send units into an artillery meat grinder. And I've got an attack force there, looking for enemy expansions. There you see, if you leave a base defence or something like that along the path you're retreating, it'll show you if the enemy's pursuing you and what assets, you'll get a rough idea of what assets they're using. If you see artillery shells coming in and units moving past your base defences, it tells you a bit of what's going on, which is why I'm backing off here and keeping my MCV safe from enemy artillery fire, because they can't see that. This is what he can see, so he needs a helicopter or something to spot for him. That's why I've moved back here, look, out of his sight. And I've got this force here. Luckily the tanks have reached them in time, because I sent them all tanks to attack over this way up to the top corner by accident and ordered them away. But they're back in position. Yeah, the artillery are shooting at the tanks. I mean, that suits me. There, that's better. Yes, it looks like that was a lovely shot. That's exactly what he should be doing. Very nice. He's targeting individual infantry. Now back away with the... Oh dear, he didn't in the end. I thought he was going to back away with them, but it looks like he changed his mind. I'm attacking here, and I've sent a lot of troops in to get wasted by them. But here I'm overrunning him. I've moved through with these 2 tanks past the artillery, and I'm pursuing these Autrux that are fleeing, but I've overrun him here. And I notice now that units are coming from this direction. But the artillery, look, those shots are coming in, 3 of them. He's destroying his own assets, but he's doing a lot of damage. Look, he's lost 1. Bullets will do a lot of damage, they're very lightly armoured. So there you go, the ND artillery. But I'm not destroying the ore refinery, look. But yeah, there's a load of rocket troops. But here's some thieves coming in. And my units, yeah, they're overrunning this position. It was lucky I didn't kill the Autrux. I mean, kill the refinery by attacking the Autrux, but it just survived, look. And getting the thieves in told me that he's got no money. One of them made it in, but you see, these under artillery fire, but they can't be suppressed. You see, these riflemen, when they're attacked, obviously if they die, they die. But when they're attacked and they're not killed, they get suppressed by certain attack types. And when they're hit again, it'll reset the suppression. So they move more slowly, and you see they're crawling. They'll move slowly, fire less often. And things like that. They're less effective when they're suppressed. So, and when they're hit again, it'll reset the suppression. So flamethrowers are very good for suppression. Artillery, very good for suppression, that sort of thing. So it's a very useful tool. But thieves can't be suppressed, and maybe certain other units. But at least thieves in this version, there you go, he's called it. I was getting a capture with an engineer on a war factory there, look. But my thieves, like I say, they can't be suppressed, a thief, and he was moving here, but I was going to use a plane to do a bit of scouting and see if there were any vulnerable expansions here or here that my thief could take advantage of. That's why I haven't ordered him already to move this way and this way by shift command, because I didn't want him marching into a base defense. I was going to use this to check his check for any targets, tanks moving down. But yeah, I think my opponent should have focused his defense here after the first engagement. He should have set it up here, and he could have expanded this way. You know, I know he got attacked by three forces at once, so, you know, there's only so much you can do. But I'll look at the army graph. There, yeah, you see, look, it's only just slightly behind me. It's increasing at the same rate, and we're taking losses at a very similar rate. There you go, look, and recovering. But, yeah, after later on, we're diverged in, you know, losses and army size. But this start point for these first 4 minutes, it set him back too far behind. He needs to use tanks and also get a larger starting army. Maybe copy another player's build order. Just watch a replay and copy it or something. But there's the army graph. There's the earnings graph. Look, that's quite close again until just after halfway. And then my earnings have increased nicely because I've obviously expanded well, look. Well enough, at least. Here's the combat chart. I killed 117. My opponent's killed 197. So he did well there. Very nice. I have got a 20,000 value army left, though. But I destroyed 45,000. He destroyed 34,000. So it was a good close struggle in that sense. He just needed tanks for screening to hold me off more and do better, fight more effectively with his units. But I've got support powers. I've got my airfield, so I've got paratroopers and spy planes ticking down. There's my production tab. I'm building more planes. I've got V2s, look, in action. So, you know, I was bringing more assets and still producing. Plenty of cash, look, 10 grand, 8 ore trucks and a 10 grand income. So yeah, I'm doing well. 2 oil derricks left, so I'm in a very strong position. He was right to call it at that point. That's fair enough. There's the basic tab. So that's it. But rather than make a second post, I'm going to add a second replay to this post and do them both as one.
Terminated.
So I hope you enjoyed that first one. And here's the second game. This is a 1v1 on assault map. I'm using Russia and my opponent's using Germany, but I haven't been on this map before. It was new to me. So I thought I'd give it a try. Maybe I should have practiced on it and practiced my build order on it first, but, you know, whatever. I thought, you know, just give it a go and give it a try. But here's the standard oil capture phase, and we've got an oil derrick each close, so it's easy to capture and safe and easy to hold on to, basically. I've sent my engineer first, but I've actually decided to send my rifles to have a look at the enemy base, see if I could find a power plant vulnerable or something. But we're both capturing our oil derricks. Both building our second refinery as well. And I've left a rifle to protect my base. Yeah, that's wise, at least one. Because your opponent could do the same. And if he left, say, a few rifles and I didn't, then, you know, I'd be done for. Yeah, I'm grouping them together. It's only rifles, but I've sent this guy to see what's going on. And he's been found straight away. But, let's see, he's revealed a power plant and a barracks. My engineer's a bit vulnerable there. He needs to move away, move out. But I'm moving forward with these. And I was concerned about having my attack revealed by ore trucks. But I wasn't sure, so I tried to have a look, see if I could move through and attack this power plant, but when I started attacking the ore truck, I thought, no, he's going to respond straight away, so I have to get out of there. I can't do any damage with that, because the ore truck could just screen all my machine gun fire, while 5 rifles defeat that force, and I wouldn't even be able to see them. So they're best getting out of there. a strategic withdrawal. And there's my engineer. He's moving away from open ground. He doesn't want to just stand there. But we've started positioning some basic rifle guards here and there, both players. I've just taken one of his out. That's why it's best to send rifles in pairs. A standard rifle guard, fair enough if you're waiting at an enemy expansion. Put him near a decent spot like, say, here, and put him on hold fire, and you'll see when the enemy expands there, because he won't reveal his presence, and it's not a common place that the enemy moved to. You could use it with do it with a technician, or if you sell a structure as well, and put him on hold fire, and just leave him to track the enemy expansion as they spread out. But what's the starting armies? Almost identical. There's like 100, couple of 250 in it now. 6,150 to 6,000. So yeah, we're very close in army value at the moment. And my opponent's moving around with his ranger. He's got an engineer in it. It's got the yellow pip. You see the little yellow square? I think yellow represents engineers. And if you put standard infantry inside a transport, you get green squares, green pips. And I think spies are blue. Not certain about thieves as well. I think so. I think that's correct. So let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But different units, different types of infantry have a different colour square when they're in a transport. So yeah, this range is making a nuisance of itself. I've set up here and I didn't see that. That's a real shame. That's why you send rifles left, right, up and down from your attack forces. Now, I've seen this revealed, but he's immediately placed a pillbox and I haven't got enough rocket troops to destroy it. So I've got to get out of there. I could have destroyed it, but there wouldn't have been any point. Just need to salvage what assets I can. And I'm protecting my expansion here, look. Yeah, if you leave the odd rifle as you retreat, you'll see if they're following you. Army values now, I've got 10,000, my opponent's got 13,000 just. But yeah, he's caught me there, and I'm even in move command, so I've changed that. You don't use move command. I may as well at least make a stand and fight rather than moving and getting gunned down with those units. Let them at least defend themselves. But here we've got a capture, but I've spotted it straight away. I saw that engineer, that was a pest, that ranger, but at least I've got the engineer and I saw him straight away, set up primary production here to kill him, and then just overkilled him completely. I don't want that. I don't want him having a war factory in the middle of my base and me having no tank production. I don't want that. But this force here is moving out to investigate, see if I can attack an enemy expansion. I've set up 2 refineries there. I just want this field harvested quickly, and because I had a refinery ready while I was deployed here, I thought I'd just place it there and build another. So I should have another ready to place. He's attacking my oil derrick. Yes, I have. I'm about to place a refinery down here straight away, so my timing was okay, as long as I'm there to actually place it. Yeah, there we go, look, now he's moving out to support these troops. But my enemy knew exactly where to hit me, look. Perfect timing. There's nothing there to defend it. In 5, there's a dead ore truck. There's a second dead ore truck. There's a third dead ore truck. There's a 4th dead ore truck. There's a destroyed refinery, but at least I'm attacking back. I've destroyed one of his ore trucks. I'm attacking... There, I've destroyed 2nd of ore truck of his, and at this point I can see his service depot, and I think, right, I want rid of that because I don't want him building tanks anymore. That's something I've decided. And there you go, I've got rid of a refinery. Now I should have retreated. At that point, he's attacking here, so I know I'm in trouble, but I'm retreating with my MCV, and the ore truck should also retreat. That one's been caught out, sadly, but my forces here are caught in a battle. They can't win. I'm under attack here, so I'm trying to just fall back. I ended up just at a massive disadvantage, but my MCV escaped. one ore truck and one heavy tank escaped from there, but I'm attacking his oil derrick. This force here is chipping away at vulnerable structures. Look, he's after my war factory. And I was busy at this point, so I have started to repair it, but, you know, it was futile. My engineer's up there, out of the fight. This force it's killed his oil derrick at least. So I thought I'd set up straight away at the last expansion he destroyed. Now he's going to move back with this force and run straight into it, look. But I thought if I set up straight away at where a place he's just destroyed, he might not expect me to set up there, but I should have gone here. And then he may not have looked as thoroughly. You see he's there, look. But I placed it... There you go, I've attacked that force in the corner and wiped it out. There you go, is the end of that force. Now he's caught my MCV, he's caught that small force, and look, it's trying to get away, but it can't. It wouldn't have escaped the medium tanks anyway. But I've wiped out that force. Let's check army values. 12,000 to me, 22,000 to my opponent. Now, I've packed up my construction yard and it's moving out, but because it's packed up and I've only got one, I can't build anymore. And look at the size of this army that's basically on the attack. He's moving in. And I could have, even if I'd have set it up there, he'd have spotted my ore trucks then. It's a shame. But I thought, I'll go for it, see if I can attack and catch him at a position where he's not prepared. Take my ore truck with me. That ranger spotted it, but wasn't paying attention. So I'm trying to build defences here, but no, this is no good. But I've not got any vehicle production. So, yeah, I don't want to lose the service depot, but it's not essential at this very moment. So I'll try and save what ore trucks I can, look. And I'm buying time here. And wiped out this expansion of the enemies. But instead of destroying the refinery, I'm taking an engineer and I'm capturing it. And then I move on my attack force, try and draw his attention, and I realise I've run straight into his construction yard, look. So, that was a nice little find. There you go, boom. Now, I saw that I had tanks, and he didn't. But look at the rockets that he's got. They're just cutting through my tanks so quickly that I saw I had to get out of there. You know, it was lethal. But there you go, he's expanding that way. He's got an idle ore truck that had to flee from here. But there's my 3 ore trucks about to start mining. My engineer's there. I've got another engineer. But there you go, I've been discovered. That's the end of that one. My MCV's trying to flee. What credits have we got? Yeah, very little. So my engineer, he's going to go see if he can capture something. And so's this guy. These are trying to lead the enemy away, but he's found me, look. Found my, look what I've been reduced to after that beating. There you go. That's the end of that. So we'll just look at the graphs and charts. There's the army graph. I'll get rid of the shroud, just see if it makes it easier to see. Yeah. You see the chart that, yeah, I can see it better on the black background, actually. Yeah, we look even until this point when he overtakes me in army value, and we're about even here at the just after the 7-minute mark, but then that's obviously when some sort of combat kicked off, because I suffer losses over the next half a minute, pretty bad, and then my army size is struggling to remain stable, whereas my opponent's army size is just increasing, look. There's a lot of difference there, so... And then, after this 10-minute mark, it's just like a savage beating, finish me off. So that's the army graph, it shows you what happened quite clearly. But it was an entertaining game, I enjoyed it, and it was fun. But look at the earnings graph, fairly even until a big crash. Look at that, a crash at 7 minutes to my earnings that never really recovered. Army graph, my opponent's got a decent finishing army. He was building light tanks. Let's just check production quickly. Yeah, because I destroyed these, what do you call it? I destroyed the service depot. And he's obviously not replaced it yet. But he can actually produce light tanks quite quickly if he's got 2 war factories. So he's probably happy to. Look at them. Yeah, look. Loads of them. Right. I lost 22 structures. My opponent lost 9. But I killed 103 units. My opponent killed 159. So yeah, it was. That shows you what happened. No support powers in effect. Production. Yeah, he's building a light tank. It takes 13 seconds to build a light tank when you've got 2 war factories then. Economy. I earned 53,000. My opponent earned 81. And here's the basic charts. 45 actions per minute for my opponent, 28 to me. But there you go, there's the basic charts and graphs. And there's the second game for you. I thought I'd post it with the first one rather than make them separate videos. So I hope you liked what you saw. If you enjoyed the game, let us know if you've got any comments and give us a sub and a like. And I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, take good care of yourselves. And for now, goodbye.
Battle control terminated.